right, so in this question, we're asked to graph this conic, and right away from the negative x squared and the positive y squared, I'm thinking that it's a hyperbola, but let's go ahead and complete the square and see what happens. So negative x squared, I'm going to take out the negative and have x squared minus 6x, leave myself a space, plus 5, y squared minus 4y, and we're nice enough to give you things that factor. Remember, that might not always be true. You might have ended up with a fraction here. Leave myself a space, equals, I'm going to move that 6 to the other side. So here I need to add a 9, which is really like subtracting 9, so I'll subtract 9. Over here, I'm going to have to add 4, which is really like adding 20. So I'll add 20 over here. That's going to give me 5 on this side. So I'm going to complete the square and rearrange. So 5y minus 2 squared minus x minus 3 squared equals 5. Divide through by that 5, y minus 2 squared over 5. The 5s are going to cancel out. So that's really going to be over 1. So y minus 2 squared over 1 minus x minus 3 squared over 5 equals 1. So now if both of these had ended up being a 1, that's when we would end up with a circle, right? And then this number over here could be 1. I could have a radius of 1, but it could be another number. So the way that you would know is if all of your coefficients matched, sort of. So I'll leave that to you to explore. But now we've got a center at 2, 3. As I suspected, this is a hyperbola. It's going to open up because I start with the y. My a value is going to be 1. My b value is going to be root 5. Remember, I'm taking the square root of both of these. So I'm going to go ahead to my center. So over 2 up 3. No, that is not true because my x coordinate of the center is 3. The y value is 2. Over 3 up 2. There's my center. Be careful with these switched hyperbolas. And now my a value is 1. It opens vertically, so I'm going to go up 1, and I'm going to go down 1. So those are my vertices. Square root of 5, well, square root of 5 is between 2 and 3, closer to 2. So I'm going to go over 2, just a little bit more. And then I'll go to the left 2 and just a little bit more. I'll use those to create my rectangle to help me create my asymptotes. So this could have gone even further over, no problem. Yeah, I don't all have to be in the same quadrant. So let's go ahead and create our asymptote. Oh, that's terrible. Let me try that a bit better, something like that. That looks a bit better. And so I can see that this is going to be wide. So let me try this one. That's not so good. Okay, that one's sort of better. All right, so I'm going to go this way and I'm going to come down this way. But I care about intercepts, right? It doesn't say intercepts up here, but you know that I always care about those. So let's find our intercepts. I know that x-intercepts are going to happen when y is 0. I'm going to come back up to my original equation for that. So I'm going to have negative x squared plus 6x plus 6 equals 0. So this alone does not factor, so I'll complete the square. Negative minus 6x plus 9, and then move that negative 6 over. That is like, something is wrong. Because I would also need to subtract 9. Oh, no, that's okay, because I have a negative over here. So I'm going to get x minus 3 squared. That negative 15 is going to get canceled out with that negative and just become positive 15. So 3 plus or minus root 15. That's really close to 4. So something that is almost 7. So I can see that it's just before my asymptote there. And then going the other way, 3 minus almost 4 is going to be almost -1. Same thing, close to the asymptote there. So coming in along the asymptote and then through my vertex and down, try and make a smooth curve, try not to go into your rectangle. And then I could label that. That, of course, is going to be 3 minus root 15, comma 0. And over here, 3 plus root 15, comma 0. Now I'm going to find my y-intercept. This time I should find only 1. So I'll come back up, look at my equation. 5y squared minus 20y plus 6 equals 0. I'm going to do the same thing. Why did I write negative 5y squared? That should be positive. All right, so take out the 5, y squared minus 4y plus 4. Move the negative 6 to the other side. That's like adding 20, so I'll add 20. Now I'm going to get y minus 2 squared is equal to, oh, no, I am going to get 2 answers. Of course, I've already drawn it. That's going to be 14. And then I get 2 plus or minus root 14. So square root of 14 is going to be not square root of 14, square root of 14 over 5. So in my head, I was thinking that that was bigger than 2. And so I knew 2 minus a number bigger than 2 would have been negative. So that's how I just caught my error there. All right, so this one, that's going to be my 2 minus root 14 over 5. And then that's x coordinate is 0. Up here, this y-intercept, so try and follow along my asymptotes, very wide. This one's going to be 2 plus root 14 over 5. And then the x coordinate, of course, is 0. So that's going to be 0, 2 plus root 14 over 5. All right, so I've got my intercepts labeled. I have my graph drawn. I've labeled my center. The other thing I want to do is find my foci. I know that my foci are going to be a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So c is going to be root 6. Because this will be 1 plus 5, and then I'll square root that. And so I know that that's the distance that I'm going to go from the center. So I'm going to go from 2 up root 6. So my foci is somewhere down in here. So I'll call that F1 is going to be at, I have an x coordinate of 3. The y coordinate will be 2 plus root 6. My other foci, root 6 is going to be bigger than 2, so it'll be down here somewhere. So 3 comma 2 minus root 6, that's going to be foci 2. My asymptote here, well, this time my rise is going to be 2. Sorry, my rise is 1, and then my run is my root 5 that I'm going over because that's my x distance. So this equation is going to be y minus 2 equals 1 over root 5 x minus 3. And then the other asymptote is the negative of that, so I could say plus minus. So there are my asymptotes, vertices, co-vertices. So my co-vertex I didn't actually label, but it's over here. I know that that's going to be the point. So there's my 3, so that'll be 3 plus root 5, comma 2. Over here, 3 minus root 5, comma 2. The 2 vertices, I've gone up 1, so I'll have them at 3, 3 and 3, 1. is where my two vertices are. Transverse axis, well, that's, transverse axis is this way. That's x equals 3. Conjugate axis, y equals 2. And that's it. That is a very full, busy graph. Hopefully you followed all of that because it's going to be hard to just look at the picture. As always, if you've got questions, let us know, put them on the document, or shoot us an email.